Kiki, and I'm going to start with housekeeping. I just returned to Nashville from being in Savannah, but I am very familiar, very familiar with Nashville. I've been here for 13, 14, 15 years and love Aroma G's. This is one of my favorite places in town. Even when I was driving up, I remember one time I drove up from Savannah and I literally just put Aroma G's into my GPS. It's just like, let's go. So today I do want to start with a little bit of housekeeping. I have a book coming out called Transformative Tarot. I don't have a publication date, and that's my fault because I delayed and just kept writing and writing and writing, and now it's going to be like a 400-page book. So I don't have a publication date yet. I also have 2 other books coming out where I collaborated with another author. Also don't have the dates on those. So what I would like to do is send around just some email lists. If you want to stay in touch with me, I'm not going to like spam you and send tons of emails, but I'll basically send out emails when you can pre-order books. I don't really read tarot anymore. Like once in a blue moon, I'll read tarot. Like maybe the next blue moon, I'll read tarot. I don't know. So I will send out an email just saying, hey, get on the schedule if you want to do that. So if you're interested in just staying in touch to find out when Transformative Tarot and my other books on magical self-care and beginner astrology come out, you can sign up here. All right. So today we are going to make a little magical amulet that I call the tarot credit card. I don't know if everybody here is going to have the material to do so, but I'm going to pass this little bag around. First of all, my card is in here, so if you want to stay in touch with me, grab one of those. I want you to grab one of these like paper stock and then a tarot image. I will work on this near the end of the class. I don't know if I have enough material. If you don't want to make a tarot credit card and you have like a lucky dollar bill in your wallet, just take an image. Or pass if you don't feel like doing arts and crafts in a really crowded room. It's totally up to you. You are my person. Thank you. So we will do that towards the end of the class. I think I've done all my housekeeping. Yes. Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming. I'm so amazed at how many people are in this room, and what I wanted to talk about today is tarot magic and finding ways to use tarot when we are practicing our magic. So to me, I wrote this little fancy thing I'm going to share with you. Tarot magic is the practice of spell work, ritual, and the shifting of energy by using tarot imagery, symbolism, and meanings as a main tool for spell casting. So in other words, we are using this as one of our tools, just like we would, oh, I don't need a knight in shining armor today. Let's go on adventures. We are going to be using this like a candle or a potion or a crystal, or we're going to use crystals and potions and candles and a tarot card. This is going to be becoming an instrument that we're using in our magic. Tarot, obviously. So who reads tarot here? Raise your hand. Tarot is very popular, isn't it? So has anybody ever used tarot imagery in their magic? Or, yeah? Awesome. So we have some people that have before. Have you found it to be beneficial? Yeah. I really like using tarot imagery in my magic. I've been reading for over 25 years at this point, which is really weird. It's a really nice visual reminder of what your intentions and your goals are. There's so much mystical symbolism in tarot. It offers us guidance. It's a gentle reminder. Sometimes it's a bold reminder of some of the things that we're trying to direct into or bring into our lives, or ways to direct us. It can be a compass. So really, when I think of tarot magic, I think of taking the interpretation of a tarot card and transforming it into a magical intention or spellwork statement. So in other words, I held this up before and I made a joke. So when I think of the Knight of Cups, I think of the knight in shining armor, maybe sort of like a very romantic person, maybe a romantic interest, and that's not something I want in my life. So I I rather have adventure. So I held up this card instead. So what do we think of when we see the Fool card? Beginnings. Yeah, that's a good one too. That's good. Yeah. So maybe if we wanted to transform that beginnings interpretation into spell work, we would use the image of the Fool if we were doing a spell for new beginnings. Yeah. Awesome. So I tried to break down the different types of ways we can use tarot and magic into 4 categories. And somehow in 45 minutes, 40 minutes, we are going to try and cover all of those. So the first that I want to start with, which I think is really special because I'm going to have you do stuff all through this class. So get really comfy with your neighbors in this room. So the first way we can use tarot and magic is actually recreating gestures and positions that we see people doing in the cards. So we'll get into it a little bit more, or you can recreate the environment of a card as well. A second way you can do tarot magic is using cards imagery as a visual representation of goals. So I actually just picked this up over on this little magnet board. So here's the little strength card, but it's a magnet. So maybe I need to have a little bit more strength and stop eating frozen meals if I put this on my fridge. The third way that you can do tarot magic, developing magical amulets and magical items based on a card's meaning and correspondences. So in other words, if I wanted to make, and this could be fun homework for y'all here in the shop, is like, let's say I wanted to embody the magic of a certain card, the High Priestess. And I wanted to make a spell pouch, a High Priestess spell pouch. Maybe I would get moonstone and jasmine herbs and gardenia. So we'll talk about that more too. And then finally, the fourth way of doing tarot magic is working with magically themed spreads. Okay, so recreating gestures and environments from our tarot cards, using cards imagery for visual representation and magical goals, developing magical amulets and magical items based on a card's meanings and correspondences, and working with magical spreads. So let's start with number 1, recreating gestures and environments. So I remember at I did like a circle. I think it was Pagan Unity Festival. Christopher Penzak made us all sit like Kernunos for like 20 minutes in silence. And it was real. It was like one of the most powerful experiences to hold myself in this pose for this long. It was a real magical shifting experience for me. And because of that, I started to think about how there are different cards. Actually, I'm looking at the strength, and I'll tell you in a minute one that I'm thinking of right now. There are different figures in the cards where we can actually mimic the shapes and the poses they take. And we're going to do one together for the magician, if you choose to. It is all optional. I'm not forcing you to do anything. But I call this the magician's manifestation mantra. And this is one where we hold the pose of the magician in the Rider-Waite-Smith, where he has one hand up as above and one hand down, so below. And this manifestation mantra is a wonderful one. You can repeat it. And I could, if you need to write it down, I'll repeat it for you after we do it. But it's basically just one where you repeat it to feel worthy and valuable of abundance. Like, I think a lot of times we cut ourselves short. I cut myself short all the time. I'm like, oh, I deserve all that I want. And so that's basically what this is for. So does anybody want to try it? Yeah, okay. So I want you to raise your left hand to the sky. This left hand, you're going to help to receive energy from the universe. And then I want you to take your, I feel like, and then put your right foot in and shake it all. Okay. And then you put your, now I've got the hokey pokey in my head. I'm sorry, you're all raising your, and then put your right hand down. So you become this sort of like antenna, or this this energy rod between the heaven and the earth, just like the magician. This is what the magician does. All right, and repeat after me. I'll go one line at a time. As above, so below.
As above, so below.
I am peacefully present.
I am peacefully present.
I am safe.
I am safe.
I am healed.
I am healed.
I sense spirit.
I sense spirit.
I express love.
I express love.
I accept prosperity.
I accept prosperity.
I communicate wisdom.
I communicate wisdom.
I transform with magic.
I transform with magic.
As above, so below.
As above, so below.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
All right. And then you do the hokey pokey. And you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. So that's one example of actually holding a pose from the tarot. Another one I always think about is the hanged man. Like, how do we hold ourselves upside down? So if there's, no. Any yogis here? Any pole dancers here? No shame in the game. There's actually a pole dancing move called, I think it's called the bow. I don't think it's the bow and arrow. I can't remember what it's called, but there is literally a pole dancing move where you hang yourself in an inverted pose, and it looks exactly like the hanged man. Yeah, it takes a lot of core strength. So yeah.
I was just saying, traction board, right?
Traction board?
Yeah, it holds you upside down. It's good for spinal decompression.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just the yogi, whatever. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and so I think it's also an interesting way to, when we think of the hanged man, we think of seeing the world from a unique or unusual perspective, one that we don't commonly see the world upside down. So it is a really interesting practice if you can get yourself in a position where you're comfortable. Or like some people even just like hang their head off the edge of the bed or the edge of a couch. That could be another example as well. Recreation of imagery in tarot can come in other ways as well. We can dress like tarot cards. One Halloween, I saw somebody dress as the Fool, and it was perfect. She even had a dog with her. You could do tarot-themed jewelry, tarot-themed tattoos. Who has tarot tattoos on them? Anybody? Yeah. Yeah, I know. There are some great artists in town if you need recommendations. And then finally, I think it might be an interesting, I've never done this, but recreating an actual space that looks like one of your tarot cards. Like, let's say it's like, I really want to live in the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, like what can I do to create a space that reflects the energy of Nine of Pentacles? Are there symbols or images that are in that card that I can use in my space to create an actual living space that looks like a card that I want to have in my magic? All right. Any questions so far? Moving along. Moving along. Actually doing good with time. Okay, so I think that this use of tarot magic is probably the easiest. A little bit easier than getting on a pole upside down, at least. This is using the imagery of a tarot card for a visual representation of a magical goal. So that's actually what we're handing out right now, is we are using an image to use as sort of the centerpiece of a magical intention. So there are different tarot card interpretations that we have out there. And we could use them for different spells. Like if you wanted to do a love spell, what cards would you think would be good to use in a love spell? Lovers, Two of Cups. Yeah, that's a good one. What about platonic love? What if you just want friends in your life?
Three of Cups.
Yes. Oh God, I love the Three of Cups. What about protection? What if you needed protection in your life? What cards would you use? Oh, the Hierophant. That's an interesting one.
The Hermit.
The Hermit. Interesting.
The Leave Me Alone card.
Yeah. I'm on my own. Mind your own business. The Emperor. Yeah, if you need somebody to come in with brute strength. One I think of a lot is the Two of Swords, because it's somebody who's guarding her heart. So Just examples. I also obviously work very, very obsessively with the Rider-Waite-Smith. You might have the Mermaid Tarot or the Trick or Treat Tarot, and your cards look a little bit different. So just find the ones that work best for you. What about spirituality? Let's say you wanted to do some spiritual magic to enhance your psychic abilities. Ooh, Magician, High Priestess, Star. I always like to think of the star as like my transmission card. So when I'm feeling like extra woo-woo, I've watched too much Gaia, and I need to communicate with my Syrian lineage, I love to pull the star card out. That's a great one to work with, to sort of like get in touch with the Galactic Federation. So, like, you have no idea how happy I am to be in a room full of people that are like, okay. Galactic Federation. So, the star card. Actually, I always say too, like if you ever want to look for a star seed in a reading, look for the combination of the Page of Cups and the star card. That is like an indigo child, a star seed. If those two come up together, that's somebody who has literally come into this human form and is trying to sort out this clown show that we go through daily. A fun one, a sad one sometimes. So anyways.
Can you repeat those two cards?
Yeah, sure. Page of Cups and the star card. Yeah, no problem. So another way that you can use the visual of tarot cards is through vision boards, scrapbooking, and junk journaling. Who is a scrapbooker here? Anybody? Junk journaling, vision boards? Awesome. Awesome. So I'm just going to show you an example because I am an obsessive journaler. So you could just see, we were talking about the Three of Cups earlier. And if y'all want to come up here, I'm not going to pass this around because it's like literally my journal. I mean, you could read about my life. I'm an open book. I'm a Gemini. I don't care. Like, but if you want to come look, basically all of my pages have a tarot card in them that represent the feeling, the mood, and the magic of the moment. So my sister's bachelorette party was a couple weekends ago. We had too much fun in New Orleans. And so the tarot card I picked for it, Three of Cups. Yeah, so that, I just wanted to share this as an example of some of the things that you can do with tarot imagery. Let's look at the time. Does anybody feel like doing an exercise for tarot imagery? You got a hand raise? Yeah, hand raise. Okay. This is called the 3 wishes exercise. So if you don't have your cards with you, that's okay. Just write this down or type it in your notes in your phone, whatever. Or write it on your hand. I don't care. Does anybody actually need paper? I have some extra. So for this 3 wishes exercise, and I do have extra paper and pens up here. So if anybody needs any, here, I'll let you be my person. You start passing that around and see if anybody needs stuff. Okay, I want you to take a minute, and I want you to come up with 3 wishes. Now, I am not a genie, but I always love 3 wishes spells, like they're my jam. So I want you to think about 3 wishes that you'd like to have manifest or awaken in your life. 3 wishes. Think big. Don't cut yourself short. What do you want? Think of 3 wishes. But you can't wish for, infinite wishes. You won't find that in the text. Well, you might. So think about 3 wishes and write them down. Do you need a piece of paper? Okay. You were so lucky. You have a piece of paper with a spell on it. So, all right. Now that we have our 3 wishes, I want you to think of a corresponding tarot card for each of those wishes. All right. So what keywords do you associate with that wish that correspond to a card? Maybe you wish for all of your student loans to be paid off.
Yes,
10 of Pentacles. This is communal wealth. We need to spread that. So, maybe you want to find the love of your life. The lovers, maybe. Maybe you just want to hang out with your cats. This is really funny. I'm feeding my cat antibiotics right now, and this picture on the strength card really resonates. Like, come on. Just 2 more days. Take a moment to imagine yourself in each card. What does that card feel like? So think, I wish to pay off all my student loans. Imagine your student loans are removed. You're in that 10 of Pentacles and feeling real good. So just take a moment. What does it feel like to have that wish granted? Imagine that in the present moment. How's this feel so far? Moving quick. I feel like we could do like a day retreat where we just do 3 wishes for a full day. Huh? Yeah, a 3-wish retreat. That might be fun. Now, here's the last bit, and then the rest is homework. I want you to create a sentence or a mantra. I'm really putting you to work. It's like, this is Sunday and it's too early. I haven't even gone to brunch yet. I want you to create a sentence or a mantra out of the 3 cards, and I want you to write it down. So, or you can create a statement or a mantra for each wish. Do it in the present tense as well. I always like doing things in the present tense because I really feel like that puts us, not like, I wish someday to pay off all my credit cards, or I wish someday to have a 6-figure job. Like, I want you to say, I have a 6-figure job. I am driving the Lexus I have always wanted. And my significant other is a compatible and healthy match for me.
I've never seen anyone on a Lexus who can drive.
Prius? Subaru? I don't know.
Asking to drive a Lexus is like kind of asking to be a chauffeur.
Yeah. Okay, well, Subaru is a very reliable car. If you're an Asheville kind of person, you can really vibe in one. All right. Does anybody have a wish or a statement that they want to share? Anybody willing to share something? Yeah?
I chose opportunities to travel.
Nice. What card goes with that for you?
I'm new to tarot, so I couldn't think of a card.
Okay. Do you want our help? All right. Open a wish to travel. What cards would you use? The Fool. Okay. The Fool. What about the Chariot? A little Chariot energy. There's one that I also love called the 2 of Wands, and it shows a person in between 2 wands, but they're holding a globe. And it makes me think of when I was a kid. Now when I was a kid, we had like proper globes, and you would spin it, close your eyes, and put your finger on it. And that's where you would live or go and visit. So that's a great wish. Anybody else? Yeah.
To be able to buy something without having to do a budget.
Buying something without a budget. I love it. I love it. What card? What card would you use to say buy something without a budget? 10 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. That's a good one. I like the King of Pentacles a lot because that feels like our kind of like stoic accountant. Yeah. But he's always making money. It's like he got on the Bitcoin train at the right time. He did it. That's great. And a final one. Anybody else? Yeah.
What card would you use for like quitting bad habits, like smoking?
That's a good one. I feel like it's jarring. It's a jarring image, but the 3 of Swords always feels like a good chopping block card. That's a tough one. What about, who would pick a different card? Huh?
Swords for cutting things out.
Yep,
for sure.
it would definitely be so. Maybe an Ace of Swords? 6 of Swords?
Devil reverse? Yeah.
Devil reversed? Woo, we're going reversed. That's too advanced for today. That's good. Thank you, everybody. So what I would recommend doing is you know how you have your 3 wishes and your 3 cards. You now have a vision board. This is your homework. You have a centerpiece. Like, go home and create a vision board. Get the magnets. Get an image of those cards and create those wishes and build that out.
I have a question.
Yes.
For your like scrapbooking,
Yeah.
do you use it more for like notating of like this is what I'm doing at my current time, or do you do it more for like setting intentions or going forward?
All of the above. All of the above. For scrapbooking and journaling, I have old tarot cards, stickers of tarot cards. I created one image based on an astrological event, and it had nothing to do with anything other than astrology. Let me find it. I don't know where it is. But you could use it for anything. So if you look here, like you can see there's part of the judgment, but then there's also the death card and the star card. So I think there are actually stickers in the shop here. I've also, people really like, I get cringy about this, but like if I have old books that I want to repurpose and I'm not going to use them for anything other than just repurposing, I will do it because it will actually be celebrated in a way as opposed to just collecting dust on the shelf. So you could create vision boards and journaling to record astrological events, to commemorate something that you really enjoyed, or to help you with healing. Like, what cards can we use to help us with healing, overcoming grief and trauma? Yeah.
When we're recreating the scenes on the cards,
Yeah.
I have a really bad shoulder. I can't really lift it up without pain.
Yeah.
So instead of putting my left arm up, could I do it in reverse, put my right arm up?
I don't see why not. I mean, just
I don't want to put that kind of intention, like I don't want the pain to mess with my intention, bring it into the magic. So
I think that sounds reasonable.
okay.
I don't see any issue with that. I don't think that the some sort of like Ghostbusters meltdown event will happen if you put your other arm up.
He could put his right arm up like that in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh, and you could. Oh, that's a great idea. You could look in the mirror and do it too. Yeah.
Put one leg up, one leg down. Don't tempt me.
Okay. So that's your homework. Is now you've got your 3 wishes and your corresponding cards, and that's the magic you can work with. Let's look at the time. Good God. Okay, it goes quick. All right, let's talk quickly about this other thing we could do to use the vision of cards. I love the idea of building an altar using tarot imagery. So does anybody work with like the watchtowers or the elements and putting them in the north and east and south? Yeah, a little bit. If anybody is interested in doing that, you could think about finding a Pentacles card to represent Earth in the north. I probably would use the Queen of Pentacles. Probably would use the Queen in all of them. Maybe the Aces. I don't know. In East, you would put a Swords card. That's the element of air. In South, you would put a Wands card. That's the element of fire. And in West, you'd put a Cups. That's the element of water. One thing you may also want to do is see if you have any tarot cards that correspond with the Wheel of the Year for you. So does anybody celebrate the Wheel of the Year? They celebrate sort of our seasonal holidays? Yeah. I know I do. We have the autumnal equinox coming up. Yeah, that's like a pagan Thanksgiving, and any reason to eat food is a good one for me. So what cards would you think represent the autumnal equinox? Balance, abundance. 7 of Pentacles? 10 of Pentacles. We got a lot of 10 of Pentacles today. It's a popular one. What about Samhain, Halloween? I'll probably pick the Death card. Yeah. Tower, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, 5 of Swords. Wow. Good ideas. All right. I'm going to move on to the next form of tarot magic. Does anybody have any questions about using the visual of a tarot card in our magic? So you've got an example to go home with. Y'all are going to go home and go scrapbooking. We're going to stop at Michael's. We're going to get everything we need and have a good afternoon. Good. Okay, and this one I'm going to go over super quick because I want to give you guys time to do the magic. developing magical amulets and magical items on cards based on cards' meanings and correspondences. And so what I mean by that is, let's say we're doing spell work we talked about the High Priestess a little bit earlier, so I'm going to go revisit that. Let's say we're doing a spell, or we're doing magic, or we want to create a charm that will awaken our psychic abilities. And we decide, you know what, the card to me that really represents awakening psychic abilities is the High Priestess. The High Priestess corresponds astrologically to the moon. So what crystals, what charms, what items do you identify with the moon and the High Priestess? Opalite, that's a good one. Moonstone would be a good one. Labradorite, maybe. Lapis lazuli. Let's say, so then you say, you know what, I'm going to make a spell pouch with the High Priestess. Maybe you put a High Priestess tarot card in there, or you frame the High Priestess, and then you make this little bowl on your altar where you put pomegranate seeds, or a cup of pomegranate juice, or ocean water.
Moon water.
Moon water! I know, that's a good idea, isn't it? Didn't we just have like a huge super moon?
Yes.
Did y'all make moon water? Good, I'm glad. Can I borrow some? I was asleep.
My wife had never heard Once in a Blue Moon, and I was like all excited. She's like, "What are you excited about?" And I'm like, "Blue moon, the thing from the saying." It's
Yeah. Great High Priestess energy. So you can build things. I know that I got a talisman. It's actually a coin at a shop that had the High Priestess image on it. So there's all sorts of ways that you could build different items and magical amulets that utilize tarot energy and imagery. One thing I like to think about too are crystal grids. Do we have any crystal people here? Yeah. So you might want to think, this is one actually from Transformative Tarot. I made a crystal grid for empowerment and courage, inspired by the Emperor. And so this has the energy of Aries, and all the crystals correspond to Aries, the Emperor, empowerment. So I'm not going to give you the layout and everything because that'll be tedious. But the crystals, just for your example, so you kind of better understand what I'm doing. Carnelian, red jasper, bloodstone, garnet, and ruby. These are all sort of these like Mars, empowered emperor stones. So.
Is there a good place to find the layout for that?
Yeah, my book. When? I don't know. Hey, if you don't want to do a crystal grid, you could get one of each and just keep it in a pouch. And I'll repeat them again for you. Carnelian, red jasper, bloodstone, garnet, and ruby. I'm pretty sure most of them are out there too. Yeah, same.
Most of them, they're all at my house.
Yes, cool. Good. Potions. What if, I think that there are some potions here actually in stock, like a magician potion, a High Priestess potion.
Perfume.
Yeah, perfume. So there are different oils and fragrances that we can associate with the different tarot cards as well. So let me think of one that I haven't talked about yet. Temperance. Sagittarius. Oh, that's a doozy. Why did I pick that one? We'd want balance, but we'd want fiery balance. We'd want healing and recovery. Golly. Anybody have any fragrances they would associate with the Temperance card? We need a book.
Lavender.
Lavender. Great one. Great one. Tangerine. I wonder if lavender and tangerine would be good together.
Yes, they were.
Usually they smell good together.
They smell.
I've never done that now.
You're saying no.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay. So there you go. So now we're already building a potion that will bring us recovery and peace, but also infuse us with, I don't know, energy and maybe joy as well. That's very Sagittarian and very temperance-y. Good job. That was, you guys did better than I did. I was like, I don't. So those are some great examples of ways that we can build and create items that relate to the tarot and using those in magic. Which leads us to the fourth, and then we'll do the magical spell. Hopefully, as long as I think that did everybody get bits and pieces to do the spell? I know that it didn't get around completely to everybody, but I mean, it's not a difficult thing to build. This is like something you could easily do at home. So before we go into that, the last thing I want to say is another way you can do tarot magic is working with magically themed tarot spreads. We don't need to just do tarot spreads to see what's going to happen tomorrow. What is this guy going to call me back? Is he my twin flame? No. We can use tarot spreads and ask the tarot questions that help us honor and celebrate and explore our personal magic, our personal power. And so I know we don't have our tarot cards with us, but go ahead and take these notes. This is a simple 3-card spread. The first card you pull represents your magical talent. This first card is the special and unique magical ability you are blessed with, and it could be a supernatural gift you need to explore. Card 2, spiritual practice. The second card is a ritual, a spell, or a spiritual practice that will be beneficial to incorporate into your routine. This is something that like makes your magical talent pop. Yes, of course. Okay, so I'll repeat them all. So 1 is the magical talent, 2 is the spiritual practice, and 3 is magical tarot. This is a magical card that has imagery, symbols, or interpretations that you could use in your magic to welcome good fortune into your life. Simple. Yeah, absolutely. I'll start from the beginning. Card number 1, magical talent. A special and unique magical ability that you're blessed with or a supernatural gift you need to explore. Card number 2, a spiritual practice. This is a ritual, spell, or spiritual practice that would be beneficial to incorporate into your routine. And the third card is magical tarot. This is a tarot card that has symbolism, imagery, and or an interpretation that you can use in your magic to welcome good fortune into your life. Cool? Any questions? Awesome.
What would you do if you got some of the more,
Kakamimi cards?
yeah.
So what would you do if you got some of the worst cards?
Yeah.
What if like your spiritual practice, the tower?
Right.
So, so one of the things I like to do is when I get those crummy cards, sometimes I am such a sucker for I need a card to further understand. Like you might want to pull a second card. That could be that could be one way of doing it. Another way to look at it is, how would you interpret that card if you had to read it for your best friend? So you're not going to be like, she's going to get bad. You might. It depends on your friend. Is there a diplomatic way to approach the meanings of cards that are going to be gentle yet productive? Honest and constructive yet diplomatic. So when we see something like the Tower card, let's say you get the tarot card for a spiritual practice, the Tower card for a spiritual practice. To me, the Tower card represents the removal of obstacles, I would actually look at it and go, you know what, I need to get a Ganesh statue. Like I need to like find a way to remove the obstacles in my life. I might have obstacles I'm not aware of. Maybe I need to ask the universe to make me aware of obstacles, no matter how uncomfortable it's going to be, because I know with the tower, it's going to be a little hectic. Thank you. I have 5 minutes left, so I would just say as well with that, just being really gentle with yourself and gentle with others and being vulnerable. Say you get the 3 of Swords in there. What is it that I could cut out of my life that will allow for something healthier to come in? So just finding really ways to be loving. Like, how would your mother interpret the card for you? Well, oh God, and even that opens up a can of worms as well. Okay, I need to give like the Ace of Cups to everybody and some warm, affectionate, maternal energy, like maybe some Empress energy in here. Okay, so I have very, very short amount of time. I don't know if we're going to have time to do this in the class. So this is more homework for everybody. You want to run 5 over? Okay. All right. Now the marker, oh, wow. So I am going to start to pass this around again. Y'all, this room of like, what, 50 people is going to have to somehow share 4 glue sticks. That's magic in itself. Good luck. So I will give you the instructions. If you want to do arts and crafts here, great. If you just want to take your stuff home and do it at home, great. Whatever you'd like. So I call this the tarot credit card spell because I like credit cards, because I like money. And money can be really beneficial for us. And sometimes when we say things like that, we already start to repair any money trauma that we have or any poverty mindset that we have. And so I kind of like this credit card spell because it's a great way for us to welcome abundance in our lives, and it fits in your wallet. If you have a magical dollar bill, I have all sorts of like magical currency that like has like sigils and oils and stuff in my car. You could also adhere your little image to that bill. And I think I have some extra in here as well. So what I did, oh, and I have extra stuff. So if anybody didn't get one and they want to do one at home, please come up and grab some. Or if you need this for your scrapbooking or your wishes. So I'm going to give you the instructions, and then we're going to do questions, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So you, quick. So this credit card, what you're going to do is you're going to adhere, if you feel like it. If anybody has like a blessing or a deity or a money symbol that they really love, draw it on the back of, and there's markers going around, and if you have a pen or pencil, that's fine too. Draw it on the back of the tarot image. There's, yeah, that's it's almost like, think of this as like your secret message, your secret private text message to the deity or the spirits that you work with. Oh, it smells good in here, like incense. Wow, that smells good. Whew. All right. The next step, take your glue. I also have some tape up here, and adhere it to your card. I don't know where mine is. I swear I just had one. I know, it'll find it. But basically it looks like this, you know. So, and it should fit in your wallet too, which is like in that little, and you can always trim it. I don't care what you do with it. And this is the one that will take more time, and it will go above and beyond the class. So here's the parts that you can, you know, continue to do here after we wrap up, or to take home to do. Come up with a mantra that you want to put on the border of the card around this. Now, I have one. Do you want me to tell you guys the one that I use? Yeah, okay. Now you're really going to have to listen because it's a little bit lengthier because I'm a little verbose. I'm a Gemini. So I am worthy of abundance and prosperity. Money flows with ease in my life. My heart and wallet are full. And hey, you could just write my heart and wallet are full around it again and again. You could say it again and again. So what I would do is just write that around the border, or if you have something that you work with, an incantation that you prefer, a mantra, a prayer, a second or third language, whatever you want. But that's the one I use. I am worthy of abundance and prosperity. Money flows with ease in my life. My heart and wallet are full. Now, final parts. On the back, write what it is you want. What is it that you want? Do you want good luck? Do you want extra money to buy all the organic Whole Foods produce? Mm-hmm. Do you need, do you need a new job? That's actually something I put on mine. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. I'll make another one. If so, let's use the job as an example. Again, we talked about this earlier with our 3 wishes as well. For this, I want you to come up with the money visualization that you really want to bring into your life in the present tense. I have a remote job with a 6-figure salary and unlimited vacation. I'm going to set that attention for all of us. We're all going to work in a coffee shop together down the road. Driving our not Lexuses, our reasonable Subarus. That's right. We're traveling. We're working from the beach in Thailand. That might be something you write on the back of the card. I have a Airbnb in Thailand, and I'm working from Thailand for the next 3 months. I am snorkeling after I sign off.
Hiring English teachers again right now.
So. Yes, there you go. And I did just get this from up front. I got to share with everybody. If you want to anoint your card, you end it with just anointing with a money oil. I got one called Money Magnet. But if you just like something simple, patchouli is my go-to for attraction and growth. And if you're not but yeah, okay, I know I've seen some cringy looks. What else could you use for money magic? What's a good one that's, Bayberry, that's a good one. Yeah. What about like pine, like a fir tree? Yeah. Okay. So I hope that was all beneficial information. Thank you so much. Come up here to grab materials if you need anything, if you want to look at this, if you need a card, if you need to sign the email list. Thank you so much. Have fun doing spells with your tarot.